Hey friends, what's up? I'm trying out a new toy. Mrs. Honeydew got me this for Christmas, and it's been sitting in the box since Christmas. That's how busy I've been, but I now have a way of holding my phone, and so I can I don't know, I guess I can use my phone to do some walk-in talks or drive-in talks. I don't know what you would call these. I gotta think of a name. But I figured this was a good opportunity for me to get whatever driving I need to do and still produce a video, just giving you some insight into kind of where my head is at on a few things. Obviously, these videos are going to be all talking, so if you're not into that, spoiler alert, it's all talking. So hit the like button on the way out, and as always, you guys be good. I'll see you on the next one. All right, for the rest of you, today's going to be a quick video. I'm really just testing this thing out, this holder. I also want to test out the audio and make sure that you don't just hear engine noise the whole time. But I did want to say that, oh, this is a weird spot here. I did want to say that I kind of discovered something that it's probably old news, but it's new to me, so that's why I'm talking about it. I just wanted to say, don't discount fill dirt. And I know that sounds crazy, but bear with me, stick with me here for a second. I have always had in my mind this idea that fill dirt is just like garbage dirt. Every time you hear fill dirt, I don't know, it sounds like garbage dirt. And if you're thinking about it from the perspective of, let's say you're trying to grow food, yeah, it's probably garbage dirt. If you're thinking about it from the perspective of you need clean soil or clean clay for, let's say, you're building a dam and you got to put a core trench in, or you are setting up a baseball field and you need that pristine orange clay that's been sifted and filtered and it's easy to, work with and so on. Free mostly of rocks and that kind of stuff. If that's what you need, fill dirt is not your answer. And I guess for me, I've always thought of fill dirt as being something even worse than that. If you think about soil in different layers, at the very top, you've got your topsoil, right? And this is all the natural layers. I'm not talking about human intervention like compost. Compost is not really a natural thing. You don't naturally find 10-foot tall piles of wood chips in nature. That doesn't naturally occur, which is generally how you end up seeing compost being made. No, I'm talking about natural layers of soil. You have your topsoil where you see grass growing. It's where most of what you would call your root mat. Your root mat being a collection of roots from weeds and turf grasses and wild plants, some invasive, some not. You have your tree roots are in that layer and so on. That's that top layer where most of things tend to grow. And you have some stuff in between there that we'll get to, but then below that, deep below where most roots tend not to get to, you have cleaner stuff. That's where you start to get that pristine clay that you would see on a baseball field or something, or that you would use in a dam project. And so the layer in between that, however, that layer is where you would find sort of this weird combination of those two, right? That is your fill dirt. This combination that's like, 70-80% inorganic materials like clay and sand and rocks and just whatever was there, unsifted, untreated, just literally scooped with an excavator and thrown into the back of a truck. That is fill dirt. In my mind, for some reason, I thought it was a lot worse than that. When I hear fill dirt, I just think, I have images of like the county dump where there's just seagulls flying around, piles and piles of what you might call fill dirt, and there's shards of glass and pieces of plastic and, you know, old farm implements that have just rusted away because some farmer just buried it somewhere in a field and they just dug it up and called it fill dirt. You know, that is the picture that I've always had in my head. I never really considered the fact that no, it is untreated soil. It's not the good stuff at the top that you can grow plants in or grow grass in. It's not the good stuff deep down where you can build a pond dam or a baseball field with it. It's just that dirty stuff in between that a lot of contractors might not care to use and gardeners might not care to use. And so it has a little less specific purpose for it. And it's also a lot more common. It's a lot easier to find dirty dirt anywhere than to find that nice pristine clay or that rich topsoil that's full of organic material, right? It's just the dirty stuff in between. Here's the other thing. The reason why I'm talking so much about fill dirt and why I thought it was garbage, why I never even considered it, is because, as you know, I've had to fill an area inside the chicken coop because the chicken coop is built a little bit on kind of a hillside, and I don't want my chickens standing on a hillside. I wanted to give a nice flat ground, not just for them, but for myself, my family. If we need to get into the run, it's just a lot nicer to stand on level ground. I've always just used topsoil in the past because I've always thought of topsoil as being the cheaper dirt. And for most purposes, it has been cheaper. It's cheaper because you have if you go buy like good compost will cost you like $50 a yard. And so if I can get topsoil for $25 or $27 a yard, it sounds cheaper to me, right? Well, here's the difference. Fill dirt you can get for like $15 a yard. That's crazy, right? If you get it for like $12 or $15 a yard instead of $25, $27 a yard, that's even cheaper. It's not the greatest material, but it's cheap. And if you don't have anywhere else to purchase soil and you just need that inorganic material that packs well and it's not going to move, it's not going to break down, even if it's full of rocks and clay and all that kind of stuff, man, fill dirt is your guy. And I never thought I'd say that because, as I've mentioned, I always thought fill dirt was just garbage. But I'd never tried it before. So I tried it this time and I ordered it. Not bad. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought it would be that bad. And this is the most ridiculous epiphany, is that fill dirt is not that bad. It's just unfiltered, unsifted, it's full of rocks and clay. It's just whatever they scooped out of the ground after they got the good stuff on top and the good stuff below. It's just the leftover dirt, but it's not tainted. It's not like full of trash bags. I just want to say that don't count out fill dirt. In a pinch, you want some cheap soil. It's a good way of getting exactly that. Well, looks like I'm home, so I appreciate you guys, and as always, be good, and I'll see you on the next one.